Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Kranzer. Today I'm going to be playing Medivh in the PTR. So we still have a couple days before he's released, I believe the next Tuesday. And I wanted to give him a shot, try him out, see what I could do. And I'm not going to be talking about the build that I did in this video, because this is one of the earlier tries that I gave him, still trying to figure out his talents. So I'm more going to talk about the talents that I would pick myself. So level 1 here, I did go with the Raven mana regen, which I thought would be great. But instead, what I would go with is Mana Adept at level 1, which increases the mana refund for hitting heroes by 100%. So anytime you hit a hero with your Q, it's free, which will be great for team fighting later in the game, and as well as getting some decent wave clear, if you can manage to hit a hero who's standing next to the wave or something like that. I wouldn't count so much on that happening, but more for like the later on team fighting, because even after the half refund of 50%, making it only 30 mana, you'll spam that ability so much in a team fight that you will so fast that between that and spamming your W on people, which absorbs a lot of damage if you can time it right, but it also costs 50 mana and has a short cooldown of 5 seconds as well. So between those two abilities, you will really fast. So making your Q cost nothing for hitting heroes, that's probably the way to go. If you're more confident or don't see yourself doing that much as far as damaging, Portal Mastery could work as well. Me though, I'm going to go with the Mana Adept for now, especially while people are learning how the hero works. But eventually Portal Mastery could be good, or Stable Portal also, making the portal last 9 seconds. But yeah, anyway, I'm kind of tangenting here, focusing on my talents. That's right, that's what I'm supposed to do here. God, so bad at doing this. Level 4. This one's kind of a toss-up, honestly. Normally, I would be going with Bird's Eye View. The enemy team has no stealth, increasing your vision range, and also being able to activate the vision for 200% increase for 5 seconds. You could do a lot of scouting really well. Now if the enemy team has a stealther, like let's say they have a Zeratul, you're probably going to want to go with Dust of Appearance, because it reveals people in stealth for 10 seconds. And you can cast it while in your Raven as well. So if you're flying around, getting the lay of the land, setting up for a team fight or whatever, or just roaming, and you happen to see that stealth running under you, all you gotta do is activate that trait, and now that stealther is revealed. Now if you have another person on your team that has some good stealth detection, you can go with the other one instead. But the Dust of Appearance is definitely viable in that case, so it's either one of those two for me. Level 7. I would say there are 2 options here as well. The first one being Arcane Change, which is the one I would be taking. And what that does is when an enemy hero is hit by your Q, the next Q, being Arcane Rift, will hit for 25% more damage. And it doesn't have a timer, so if you hit somebody with a Q, it will stay charged until you cast that Q. So you can just hold on to it for a while if you need to. That's the one I go with. The other option I would say is Master's Touch, which is a quest. You hit 35 heroes with it, and it will permanently increase, by it I mean your Q, your Arcane Rift. It'll permanently increase the cooldown, or reduce the cooldown of your Q by 1 second, and also increase the damage dealt by 100. Now, the reason I don't go with this one is because it's a level 7 quest, which to me is kind of late in the game for a quest to be started. And you lose the progress if you die. So if you're at 34 then you die, you gotta start back over. And the whole time you're not getting any bonuses out of it. You only get the bonuses, like there's no partial bonuses for the quest. Now if it was giving you partial bonuses and then like an extra bonus when you finished it, it'd be more worth it. But since there's no bonuses whatsoever, not as good. Also, a charged Arcane Rift from Arcane Change does more damage at higher levels. I'm not sure what level it overtakes it, but probably around 10 or 13, if I had to guess, which I am. Arcane Change will do more damage than Master's Touch fully stacked up, just because it's percentage base, and you know, as the skill scales higher in base damage, the flat increase of 100 is effectively less. So I would go with Arcane Change out of the two, because you immediately get the benefits of it as long as you're hitting heroes. And of course there's the trade-off that, you know, if you're not hitting heroes, it's not doing bonus damage at all. But it's not hard to hit heroes with the Q. If you're in the range, you know, if you're in that fighting range, it's not hard to hit them. It's got a pretty good width on it. Level 10, which ult do you go with? Right now, for quick matches and as people are trying to learn him, I would say Polybomb is where you want to go. Leyline Seal definitely is strong, but it's just like playing with somebody who's using Void Prison. You know, when I first started playing the game in Alpha, people did not know how to play with Void Prison very well, like as a team. So Leyline Seal will be around the same area. Like, people won't quite understand how long, they won't have that knowledge of how long it actually lasts, which is 3 seconds, and will not be able to use the advantage that it grants quite well. So for now, Polybomb is where I'm going myself, which has good potential, but it's easy to get out of range at level 10. Level 20 upgrades will change that, however. Moving on to level 13. This one is a 50-50 as well. I would not pick the Raven speed boost. It's a 15% increase. Well, it's a 100% increase to the boost, but it's a total 15%. So it make you move 130% like a regular mount does. I don't see that to be that useful. I mean, it could help you keep up with the team or whatever, but you can go over terrain and stuff with this character. So I haven't had much issue keeping up with people at 15%. So that one's probably a no for me. But the quickening lowers the cooldown of your portals by 50%. So it makes your portals 10 seconds rather than 20-second cooldowns. I find that to be useful. Me personally, however, I am picking Astral Projection to increase the distance that you can cast portals by 50%. So you can essentially, like, if you're looking at where I'm in the game, well, let me wait till it refocuses on a location here. So like, I could probably cast a portal from here down to the shrine, or really close to that anyway. And you can see how the enemy team actually, they're kind of dicking with each other. They're intentionally polying each other, just messing around. That's not going to happen in a real game, but it's definitely viable in that you could get some decent polys off, make the enemy team scatter. Yeah, it could cause a lot of disarray, and it will poly unlimitedly as long as they're in the range. So that's what I'm going with, just because of the amount of chaos that it can introduce into a team fight. But like I was saying, Astral Projection, I could see that being good just as well as Quickening. Those two are the ones I would pick from if I was to advise somebody on talent picks. Moving on to 16, kind of a 50-50 as well here. The one I don't suggest is Circle of Protection. I don't suggest that one. I used it a couple times and found that the AoE radius, when they say applies to near your target, they really mean like right on the target's face. If you're even like an auto attack range away from a person, it won't apply to them. So that one's probably a no. Enduring Will is the one I would pick myself. It increases the duration of Force of Will by 0.5 seconds, which makes it about, it's like 1.955 seconds which makes it practically 2 seconds duration for your W of pure damage absorption. Now, of course, target under the effect of your W, your force of will, can still be crowd controlled, CC'd, but they can't be hurt. So for almost 2 seconds, they're immune to damage. I see that being great with like a Butcher or an Illidan, you know, somebody who's diving into the enemy team. That 2 second total time that they are not getting hurt, it just makes them that much harder to kill. That much more difficult to kill. The other talent that is possible that I would consider at 16 is the reabsorption, and upon ending, your force of will also heal the target for 50% of the damage absorbed. So if they take 600 damage during the duration of the barrier, they get healed for 300, which would make it a 900 barrier. Now, of course, there's also that trade-off that in the extra 0.5 seconds that the barrier is on the target, they might absorb that much damage from the shield anyway. So, really, Enduring Will would be better if the target's at full HP, and Reabsorption would be better if they're hurt. Now, I'll be trying those two out because they're so close in use for me. But for now, I'll be using Enduring Will for now. But I definitely see Reabsorption as a possibility for the future, because it's, like I said, it's got usage on a tank who's in the middle of the fray, and he's getting focus fired by 5 people. He could essentially take in a second and a half. He could probably take 4,000 damage. You know, he could take a lot of damage. So throwing out a 2K heal, if you're running a comp that has just a solo frontline, so like just kind of spitballing here. You run a team comp with one frontliner, and the enemy team picks up a Tyrande, or even a Sylvanas or a Nova, somebody who can apply the weakness, the 25% damage increase. That solo tank will die very fast because they will get focus fired and just die. So the reabsorption would actually be really strong in that case. You wait for the tank to be like half HP or 75% or whatever. You don't want to wait too long, but you wait for them to get a decent amount of damage on them, then you throw your shield on them with the reabsorption talent, and they take 3k damage. Not only do they absorb 3k damage from the enemy team, so that's 3k damage that they didn't do, but you're also healing them for 1.5 thousand, which is a really strong heal that you could throw out essentially every 5 seconds or whatever that the cooldown is of that ability. So there's a lot of usability there in that situation, that scenario. Now, if the enemy team is a lot more split in their DPS, not focused, you're going to be finding more use out of Enduring Will, I think. But anyway, going back to the talent picks, that was just a little bit of a side tangent, but of course side tangent based off the 2 talents that I would actually pick in the situation. So it is justified. So yeah, deal with it. Now, level 20. If you picked up Polybomb, for sure, Glyph of Polybomb makes the explosion happen 1 second faster, so they have only got 1 second to react to your Polybomb. So unless the enemy team has a lot of mobility in its backline, and you shoot out that Glyph of Polybomb on one of the healers or whatever, and the team's kind of packed together, you're going to hit multiple people, so you're going to get double the usage, for sure, at least out of that Glyph. Now, I'm not sure, however, if that makes the cooldown. Like, I haven't actually got to use it in a game because I didn't hit 20 in any of the games I played, so I had to test it in training. Now, does that make it only last a second? You know, it makes the ability, because normally the ability lasts 2 seconds and then it explodes. So does it only last 1 second now and then explode? So if you don't hit anybody with it, like if you don't chain it, then you're actually losing time. It's becoming less effective because you didn't chain it. I don't know. But the radius that it explodes is also increased too. So it's easier to hit people with the explosions. So 50-50, I'll have to get some more testing on that. But that's the one I'd be going with normally. I could see Medivh cheats being okay if you pick up the other, the ley line alt. but I didn't pick that up really, and I don't recommend it for now, so I'm not going to talk about that one too much. Arcane Brilliance, I tried that out. No good. I mean, it has usage, but it's very, very situational. The other two, I tried both of these out as well. Guardian of Tearsfall does what it says. Minions and catapults hit by Arcane Rift are instantly killed. So if your team is in that situation where it lacks crowd control, which, as I don't know if I mentioned before, if you don't have really good crowd control in your team, Medivh is probably not the hero to pick. You need crowd control. You need crowd control in your team. If you don't have crowd control, or not crowd control, Jesus, wave clear. I mean wave clear. If you don't have good wave clear, I wouldn't pick Medivh because he doesn't clear waves that well at all. So if you have like a Sylvanas on the team and like some other decent wave clear, they don't have to all be Sylvanas caliber, like Sylvanas, Zul, Azmodan kind of thing. But as long as you have one really strong and then a couple decent people, like if you have a Tracer who's not picking up the AoE 50% melee off her W, and you have a Chromie, and then you have an ETC, you probably shouldn't pick this guy. Probably shouldn't pick him from a wave clear perspective, because he's not good at it either. But the Guardian of Tearsfall makes him really good at it because he instantly kills all minions, which includes catapults, not mercenaries. Mercenaries will not die instantly. They'll still take regular damage. But that could be good in those cases. If you made it this long in the game, though, I don't know if it's going to be worth picking up. If this was earlier, I would definitely say like a non-20 talent pick. This would be worth it. But at 20, it's kind of like a little too late kind of deal. Anyway, the last one is invisibility, which it says it makes the target invisible. Is it like invisible, like actual invisibility? You can't see them, can't see their outline, or is it stealth, like a Nova stealth, or a Zeratul stealth, or Tyrandi's healing alt stealth? You know, is it stealth like that, or is it actual invisibility? Not sure, because I didn't get to test it with any other players. This is one of those things that I messed around with in training. I can see the usability out of it though, because you can put some invisibility on a target, and then they can click your portal and still come out on the other side invisible. So I could definitely see some stealth engage tactics there, or an escape tactic. Which really, if they're trying to escape, you just put the portal next to them anyway, and they just click the damn thing. So it's not going to be as good for disengage as it would be engage. But you can't do the whole team either. So if you have one stealther on the team already, you're at best going to get 3 people with a very brief window. 2 people would be the ideal, but 3 would be the most you're going to get. So it's still going to be still at best going to be one person that's not stealth. So now here's an example in the actual video. Crowd or wave clear. Like, I'm having a hell of a time clearing this, a really hard time. The level 20 talent would have helped a little bit killing those minions, but it's not going to help you with the mercenaries either way. So yep, those are my thoughts on, or those are my talent picks that I would go with when Medivh goes live. Do I suggest picking him up? I already have, obviously, playing him in the PTR. But if you don't have all the heroes in the game, I would hold off. I would hold off. Wait till he goes to 10k at least. Don't get him first week, second week, whatever. Wait till he goes down 10k, because he's going to need some buffing. He's going to be really low win rate, I think, when he gets first released. I think he's going to definitely suffer overall, kind of like Chromie has, kind of like Lunara did. He's going to have some trouble. So wait, hold off. Don't get him right away, because there's going to be definitely some buffs and things that need to happen. Unless I just played him really poorly, it's possible. Anyway, that was my initial thoughts and reactions to Medivh on the PTR. I hope you got a little bit of insight on how the hero is going to be playing, and if you want to pick him up when he first comes out. If you like the video, subscribe, thumbs up, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.